Good morning. Welcome to Yoga with Lauren this morning. Happy to be here and happy you are here joining in whenever you're doing this video. So right now we're in the bit of a heat wave here in the inland Northwest, like a week of 100 degrees, which is pretty unusual. So I think it's just important to remember to take care of yourself when it's this hot. You might need to do a lot less. You might need to just sit in a nice cool place and drink some water and read. And thinking of that today, we're gonna do poses that are a little more grounding. So we still wanna move our body, but we wanna move our body in a way that feels good for us. And I was thinking with the heat, staying a little lower to the cool earth would be a nice way to get some movement in and not get too heated up. So we'll do that today. And speaking of heated up, I'm gonna lose my sweatshirt because it's warm. Excuse me. So today you might want a, just a minute, I'm trapped in my sweatshirt, a blanket. Always have a blanket handy if you do yoga with me. Blanket, pillow, something you can use to pad your knees or sit on if needed. And then let's find a comfortable seat, either in your chair or on the floor. And we'll move into our seated centering, taking your feet to the floor if you're in a chair. Really think about rooting down through your sit bones, what are connecting you to the chair or the floor, and sitting up taller through your spine, broadening through your collarbones, letting your shoulders come down your back. Hands wherever comfortable, so maybe in your lap like mine. And then you could close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Perhaps finding a yawn like me this morning. And then just begin to find your breath. Finding a deep inhale, full exhale. Again, inhaling through your nose, exhaling either through your nose or through your mouth, depending which exhale feels more serving for you, more relaxing. And just continue with that for a few rounds, finding your breath. Breathing some presence and awareness into your body. Allowing your breath to help you find your center. Continue to breathe, thinking about the rootedness of your sit bones into the chair or the floor. Being heavy down in your pelvis, really grounded into the earth, grounded into whatever you're seated upon. And as you continue to breathe from that sense of groundedness, heavy pelvis in the floor, maybe even your feet if you're in a chair. Think about lengthening through your spine, through your crown of your head, energetically reaching up. And perhaps if you like, you can think about a cascading waterfall, just the right temperature coming down from above, cascading down your backside, washing you clean, cooling you down, and also cascading down your front side. Just a really gentle, perfect temperature for you. Just a little bit of water, washing away what needs to be washed away, cooling down if you need a little cooling. At the end of your next exhalation, you can slowly open your eyes, come back present in the room, and take your palms to face up in your lap. On your next inhale, just sweep your hands up overhead, palms come together. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Say a thank you to yourself for showing up, doing this practice. And also if there's someone in your life you'd like to extend some extra love and light to, you can think of that person, persons, or situation now. Alrighty. A little more yawns to come out for me. Okay, wake up time. So come to standing if you're able to, unless you want to be in a chair. Find your collarbones, trace down your collarbones, start thumping below your collarbones, remembering to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and then continue with that. I'm gonna adjust the camera just a little bit here. Hitting the end point of your kidney meridian here, helping to wake up your whole energy body. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And then come to the center of your chest. You can use 1 or 2 hands, thump there, over your thymus gland, helping with your immune system. Oh, I love this routine in the morning for getting the yawns out. All right, third place to thump. Side seams of your breast or pectoral muscles. You can thump, rub, tap. Sometimes I'd rather rub this spot. So it's about where your brow line would be. This is the end point of your spleen meridian. Shake your hands off. Come right under your eyes, bony cheekbone area. Gently thump there as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then you can stop that, release your hands. Just take a moment to pause, find stillness and silence, and tune into your energetic body for just a few breaths. And then if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. Can you guys tell I'm tired this morning? A lot of yawning. All right, so time to do the cross crawl. Same arm to same knee, opposite same arm to same knee. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Shake your hands off, opposite hand, opposite knee, and then continue. Working at a pace that feels good for you, which very much might be faster, maybe could be slower than me, might look a little different. Just continue as you inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Here we're hoping to pick energy up and move it in a crosswise pattern with this move. Okay, stop that, shake your hands off. Let's zip our energy upward. It helps protect us from absorbing other people's energy unnecessarily, and a wonderful time to set an intention for your day if you like. So if you want to think of how you want to feel, you can take your hands to cover your low body. On your next inhale, just sweep your hands right up the center line, tap your chin. Exhale, hands come down around you. 2 more times. Inhale, pull energy up. Exhale, send that energy down around you. Till you've done 3. After you've done 3, third finger to your belly button. I just laugh because this practice really gets the yawns out sometimes. Opposite third finger between your eyebrows. You can either gently press in and pull up, or you can hover your fingers if you don't want to press in. Otherwise, inhale, press in, pull up. Exhale through your mouth. 2 more times. And then shake your hands off. All right, good job on doing your wake up. I feel like I had about 20 yawns come out during that wake up, so it was entertaining me. All right, time for our grounding morning practice here. So come on down to the floor, pad the floor if you don't have a yoga mat. I'm gonna move this chair, make sure it's not in the camera. Knees as wide as your yoga mat or wider than your hips, big toes together, and lengthen out into child's pose. Release your forehead to the floor. If your forehead doesn't reach the floor, put a blanket or pillow underneath your yoga block so it can. Think about sinking your hips back, lengthening out through your arms and your spine, and then just finding your breath. Breathe however is comfortable for you. You might want to do yogic breath in through the nose, out through the nose, but if some mouth exhales feel serving, feel free to use those. And think about releasing your bones to gravity. In this child's pose, grounding into the cool earth and just breathing here. Perhaps you notice you could lengthen a little more, so maybe walking your hands forward, walking your forehead forward, sinking your hips back. Or maybe you're perfectly content where you're at. Tune into that and just breathe for a little bit longer. And then push yourself up out of your child's pose to an all fours position. So if your knees are tender, pad your knees. If just being in all fours hurts your wrists, you could come down to forearms. We're gonna work our way into cat-cow. So if you're on your hands, they're under your shoulders, like so, nice straight line. And then your knees are under your hips in a straight line. And spread your fingers wide if you're on your hands, or like I said, if you need to be on your forearms, you can. Root down through the mound of your thumb, root of your index knuckle, mound of your pinky, outside of your wrist. Think about lengthening through your spine, lifting through your ribs. So you're not dumping like this in your low back, but you got a little lift, a little bit of almost already a cat arch. And then as you exhale, round up, look towards your heart, drop your head, release your head into cat arch. As you inhale, lengthen forward into cow pose, staying really grounded in your hands, the four corners of your hands. And then back and forth your own pace. Also grounded in your toes. Cat-cow, if you know it, move at your own pace. Move at a pace in a way that feels serving for your body. Breathe and move through flexion and extension of the spine. Ideally trying to work slow, as if you're moving one vertebrae at a time, unless that's not serving you. Find some movement that serves you in cat-cow. You might like to stay in one shape for a few breaths, maybe wiggle a little. Maybe you need to pad your knees if you didn't and they're tender. So take care of yourself here in cat-cow. You might like to do some C curves of the spine. Ear moves towards hip. Just play around, have fun. Move into that spine, try and get some of the tension to release. Your spine health is really important. It's one of the reasons I think yoga is so important. Spine health is really everything in your body. So don't ignore your spine, please. A few more rounds of breath with some movement. Maybe you want to come up on your fingertips to an angry cat. Sometimes I like to come up on my fingertips, feels good. So just tune into the movement your body could use here for a few more rounds of breath. Neck's a little tight, so I like to just kind of try and release my head. And then find your way back to the all fours shape here. Be towards the top of your mat. I'm gonna shimmy a little forward. I'm going to talk you into downward facing dog. If you're not into that this morning, don't worry, you can do puppy pose. So walk your knees 2 to 3 inches behind your hips so you get a little more length. And then really press down through the mound of your thumb, root of your index knuckle, mound of your pinky, outside of your wrist. Press your hands into the mat, draw strength into your shoulder blades, mini cat arch in your back so you got lift in your ribs. Externally, think about rotating your arm bones externally in your shoulder socket out towards your pinkies. And then when you're ready, lift your knees, press back to downward facing dog. Good, really stay connected through the four corners of your hands, especially your index knuckle. Ears are in line with your biceps. And you can begin to pedal your heels, bend your knees if that feels nice. If you're not liking downward dog, you don't do dog, lower your knees, lengthen out into puppy like so, okay? Choose your shape and breathe there. Breathing space into your body. Such a great all-around pose, dog, or the alternative of puppy to lengthen your spine. Stretch out your body. Find your breath. Any movement you like in downward facing dog. So if you want to twist around a little, if you want to come down to a puppy and then go back to a dog. Take care of yourself. One more deep breath. And then if you're in dog, lower your knees, rest in puppy for just a few breaths. Letting that forehead come to the ground. And then come back up to the all fours shape. I'm gonna change directions. I'm trying to smooth my wild, unruly hair. Okay, so you're in all fours just like before. And then root down through those hands, mound a thumb, root index knuckle, mound a pinky outside a wrist, lift through your ribs. Take your right foot out into a kickstand. Your foot is, or your legs coming straight out from your hip, your foot's pointed forward. Walk your hands one hand forward, hinge back to your hips. Perhaps you come down to forearms. You can stay up on your left toe in the back, get a nice toe stretch, or if you wanted to come off your toes, if that's too much sensation, that's fine. Breathe. Inhale yourself up. Good. Bring your kickstand leg in, and on an inhale, kickstand out your opposite leg. Plug it into the floor. Feet are pointed, toes are pointed straight forward. Walk your hands forward. Hinge back to your right heel. You might be able to come down to forearms. You could release your head if that feels good. Maybe you're a little more upright, but really push into your left foot. Feel the sensation in your left hip typically, although you could feel sensation somewhere else. Just breathe. Inhale yourself up from there. Bring your kickstand leg in, and then come on down to your bum on the floor. All right, and then sit, if it's okay for you, cross-legged. If this feels like super uncomfortable, you could also sit on your legs. You could actually have your legs out in front of you, that'd be fine. But if you're able to sit cross-legged, find a comfortable cross-legged position, and that might mean sitting up on a blanket or a pillow. In fact, I'm gonna sit up on a little blanket. A little lift under my hips feels a lot better. Good. Find your breath. Think about grounding your sit bones into the floor, sitting up taller through your spine. Take your left hand to the floor, and I want you to, on your next inhale, reach up with your right, nice and tall. And then using that left hand to support you, crescent over to your left. Push into your left hand, broad through your collarbones. You could gaze up at your left or right hand if that feels good, or gaze straight out in front of you. Whatever feels comfortable on your neck. Let your shoulders fall down your back though, shoulder blades down the back. And then gently take this right hand, start to crescent over like you're gonna come all the way to the floor, and then circle to the front. Let your left hand come up, right hand comes to the floor, reach up with your left hand. Push your right hand to the floor, get tall with your left, and then crescent over. Shoulders down your back, broad through your collarbones. Breathing. Rooting your sit bones into the floor. And then left hand's gonna come down towards the floor, crescent, crescent. Almost, if you can touch the floor, and then roll to the front. Switch hands, so left hand back down to the floor, right arm up. Crescent. And then begin to sweep through till your right hand's on the floor and your left hand's reaching up. Push into that right hand, crescent over with your left. Reach down to the floor, ooh, and then start some gentle spinal rotation. So your knees might come up, just say about circling your spine a little bit here to your comfort at a pace that feels good for you. And then find your way back to center. Okay, let's take your legs out in front of you. Internally rotate your sit bones a little, really, or your flesh of your thighs to get on your sit bones is what I'm trying to say. Extend your feet out in front of you. Press your hands down by your hips, press into the floor, get longer through your spine. If you're grabbing anywhere, soften your low back, your face, your jaw. Extend through your heels, extend through the crown of your head. You're in staff pose, Dandasana. Breathe. You can stay here, or on your next inhale, reach up, sit bones grounded into the floor, tall for your spine, hinge from your hips forward if that works okay for you. Reaching your hands down towards your legs. Think about extending through your spine. Perhaps you're able to grab your feet, or maybe you're holding on to more of your shins. You can grab your big toes. Stretch that whole fascial line from your feet to your skull here. Find your breath. Bring some space into your body. Slowly walk your hands upright with a nice toned belly. And then take your right knee in, hug it into your chest like so. Root through your sit bones, tall through your spine. Inhale, take your left arm out. As you exhale, twist towards your right leg. Right hand comes to the floor. Gaze over your right shoulder. Extend through your left foot on the floor. Find the edge of your twist and breathe. Twisting is really nice and good and important for your spine health. Lubricates your spine. Find your breath. Slowly inhale yourself back to center. Extend your right leg and just shake your legs out for a little bit on the floor. And then take your left foot in, hug it into your chest. Squeeze that left knee, push through your right foot. On an inhale, take your right arm out. As you exhale, twist towards your bent leg. Left hand comes to the floor. Your right arm can hook your left knee and then gaze over your left shoulder. Finding the edge of your spinal twist. Finding your breath. And inhale, untwist yourself, release that leg, and come on down to your back. So lying on your back, you can hug your knees into your chest. That feels good, like so. You could do a happy baby where feet face the ceiling. You reach towards the insides of your feet, but then grab the outsides and pull them down. Maybe you want your legs extended. So any options for those? I'm actually gonna have you do just a short Shavasana today because I think with the heat, we need to stay close to the ground and rest a little. So do a nice finisher pose before we move into a short Shavasana. Any movement your body feels like it needs. Maybe you want to have your knees up and do some windshield wipers. So we'll have about another 30 seconds for a pose of choice. Tuning into what movement your body might want, what shape it might like to be in for a little bit longer. And taking your time, as you're ready, you can come into a Shavasana resting pose on your back. Feet are slightly apart, arms are slightly apart. Everything's gonna relax. You're gonna release any muscle energy and let your body sink into the floor. You might like to cover your eyes with a blanket or pillow or turn off your bright lights if you've got bright lights. So come down to a comfortable lying resting position on the floor. I'm gonna sit up for Shavasana. And we'll do about a 2-minute Shavasana. So get comfortable, rest, and I'll bring you back in just a little bit. deepen your breath and to release even more onto your mat or onto the floor. If you have time and you'd like to continue your Shavasana, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you can begin to find any movement that is serving for you, wiggling some fingers and toes, and bringing a little life back to the stillness you just created. If and when you're ready, you could bend one knee and then the other, bringing your feet to the floor, knees up, perhaps stretching your arms overhead. If and when you're ready, you can roll over and rest on your right side for a few moments. And perhaps you find that side lying position really comfortable and you want to close class there. Honor that if that feels really serving. Or if and when you're ready, you can use the floor to help push yourself up and find a comfortable seat for the close of our class today. Please choose whichever position is most serving for you in this moment right now. And if you like, depending where you're at, you could bring your hands in prayer hands, Anjali Mudra. And just find your breath, a nice deep inhale, full exhale. Do that again. Deep inhale, full exhale. Again, if there's someone or something in your life you'd like to extend some love and light to, you can think of that person, situation now. And I'll close with the namaste. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Thank you, thank you.